Massive, massive win for head coach Hugh and his staff. Big shout out to Kenyatta Watson, who was the lead recruiter. He's an assistant for Auburn that played a massive role. If you talk to Deuce Knight, there was no person in that building that had a bigger impact on his final decision to decide to flip from the Fighting Irish to the Tigers. So what does this mean? Auburn landed one of the premier quarterbacks in the class of 2025. This is a guy with tremendous upside. It's really through the roof what he can do. He can run it. He can throw it. He's a great leader. He brings so much to the table. You really need to hear what Andrew Ivins, our director of scouting, says about this guy, because he couldn't have been more impressed when we watched him during the 7-on-7 circuit out at the OT7 finals. He was the alpha dog. He was so impressive. Again, upside is through the roof. But moving ahead, he's going to have an impact on many other prospects across the class of 2025. At least that's the opinion of the Auburn Tigers coaching staff. They believe that this is going to be a Deuce Knight effect. So who will it impact? You got 5-star offensive tackle Andrew Babalola, who has been a top target for the Auburn Tigers for quite some time. Missouri, Oklahoma, Michigan, all very much in place. Stanford as well. For me, the two teams that I continue to watch, you got Michigan and Auburn. This is one that Auburn needs to win. He's an immediate impact difference maker and a potential first-round pick down the road. Deuce Knight's been recruiting him behind the scenes. That's going to play a factor as he makes a final decision. One that was expected weeks ago, but still hasn't happened. Was that because Deuce Knight hadn't made a decision? It'll be something to watch. You also have 5-star cornerback and Ohio State commit Naeem Offord. My 24/7 sports crystal ball is on the Auburn Tigers. I expect that flip to happen. Again, this is a relationship situation where his best connections, his best relationships are headed to play for the Auburn Tigers. Now you have one more in Deuce Knight. So I could absolutely see Offord picking Auburn and then having a comment somewhere along the line saying Deuce Knight played a factor in that decision. A couple other guys to know: 5-star wide receiver Caleb Cunningham, who's committed to Alabama. Now, he was just in Tuscaloosa like I was for the Georgia game, so he witnessed everything firsthand. I think it's going to be really difficult to flip him from the Crimson Tide. But again, this is a guy that Auburn feels behind the scenes. Deuce Knight's been recruiting him so hard. This is a possibility that he flips to Auburn down the road, but it's going to take a lot. And then lastly, one more guy we haven't talked about a ton regarding Auburn is top 247 receiver CJ Wiley. This is a guy that he's committed to Florida State, but he's been looking around for quite some time. Keep an eye on Georgia. Keep an eye on Auburn. Auburn is kind of a sleeper in this race. I think everybody assumed he's just going to flip to the Bulldogs, stay in state. Keep an eye on the Tigers. They're doing a great job. Again, big-time impact, huge win for Auburn. Deuce Knight. The future is bright for the Tigers. We'll see what happens moving forward.